Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to remember to like and subscribe to my channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. We're going to do a really quick review today of the Citizen Bullhead chronograph. Reference number for this watch is AN3660, and this watch came in on loan from our boutique. So let me just take some time to thank Eric and his family at our boutique for so generously loaning in all these watches for my videos. The Citizen Bullhead is a remake or reissue of an older model from the 70s, and this one has all the vintage retro vibes. Of course, the main thing that strikes you when you handle or when you see this watch would be, the way the crowns and pushes, their design and position, thereby giving it the model name Bullhead. So as opposed to the 3 o'clock area where all the controls are, they've shifted everything to the 12 o'clock area, so giving this sort of the bull horn kind of look. And I must say, this makes it really special. Alright, so it's got all sorts of retro design cues found in this watch, from the bracelet design to the lug design, the case and lug design, as well as this bubble glass look here by way of the dome crystal. Just take a look at how everything distorts as I turn the watch this way. Wow! So maybe just let me show you how this watch is conceived, the design and the overall idea for the Bullhead Chrono, how it came about. So assuming you were to use your watch case or watch head as a regular stopwatch, so you hold it, doesn't matter which hand you're holding it in. So you've got the pusher here, and it activates the timer. Alright, so you can see that this long timer hand or seconds hand is starting to tick. Alright, so you off it or you stop it, and then you go on for a reset and everything goes back to 12 o'clock. So this is how the idea came about, how this design is conceived. Alright, for you to use the watch as a regular old school stopwatch with all the buttons, the operations at the top. Now with the lens zoom in very slightly, let's run through some of the key specs of the watch. It's got a really compact case size of 38mm. So without a crown, without any crown guards here at both flanks of the watch, it looks even smaller. Alright, so typically if you've got a watch that's 38mm case size, because of the crown or crown guards, it's going to add on visually, but for this one, no such thing. Feels smaller than what the specs would suggest. Overall thickness here is 11.8mm from the base of the case back to the top of the dome crystal, which is mineral crystal. Alright, so really nice curve to the case. I wouldn't even call this one the mid case because there isn't one, there is no mid case. This is the entire case done in sort of a brush finish. Actually very nice, alright, for the price point. And we've got a bezel here that is coated in some sort of black coating, likely to be some sort of paint. Lug width on the Bullhead here is 18mm. So again, this 18mm lug width, I think it is designed in mind to fit the retro theme, the vintage theme. Alright, so older watches are smaller with smaller straps. Okay, but for me, I think a 20 would look better for this design, because if you taper it down too much, it's going to feel like a lady's watch. So there's really no lux when it comes to this case design. So I'm going to give you the end-to-end measurement, or the length of the case comes in at around 41.5mm. That's very, very short, and this watch definitely fits all wrist sizes, big, small, even ladies. I think no problems at all wearing this watch. The Bullhead Chrono has a street price of about 280 Singapore dollars. You can definitely get this one from our boutique. So if you're interested in checking out this watch, it does come in a few color variations. Just give Eric a call. I'm pretty sure he will give you a really good price. Finally, the overall weight of this watch is very, very light. Comes in at under 100 grams. In fact, it weighs 98.1 grams. Alright, and this has a bracelet which does not require you to resize, alright, or to remove any links. It's got this adjustable buckle here, if that's the way to call it. So you pry it open and you slide in and out to get to the size that you like, and then you just flip it, close it, lock it, and you will get a fit that is really good. Because this bracelet here has really short, flat links. It's a non-solid bracelet, alright. Everything here is folded and very entry-level quality, as reflected by the price point. But I think everything just fits the retro theme so well, because in the 70s, I don't think Citizen had a watch with solid links and whatnot. So this is what it was, and the reissue or the remake is what it is, alright. So everything here is retro inspired, from the looks to the actual construction of this bracelet here. So here you can see that I've sort of repositioned the buckle here, because I do have a slightly smaller wrist and I was able to get a really good fit. So in terms of case design and overall build quality, I would say the Citizen Bullhead does have a very special case design. Alright, this is obvious, alright, with all the crowns shifted to the 12 o'clock position. I think visually this is something that's very impactful. Alright, first look at the watch. This is something that's very different from all the typical chronograph with all the pushes on one side, on both sides. Over here, everything has gone to the 12 o'clock or the head side. Very interesting looks, and I really like the brushing here. Right, despite being on the lower price category, this is obviously entry-level stuff, alright? I think the build quality here is pretty decent, especially with regards to the case. I'm not so sure about the bracelet. Okay, everything here is done in a brush finish. I like brush finishes, but the bracelet here, alright, so this is not the highest quality. So let me just show you how this watch looks on my 17cm wrist. So in terms of wearability and fit, actually everything fits really well. Really nice curve to the case. I love the finishing on the case, the brushing and all that. So very lightweight, and we've got a really slim and thin bracelet. So coming to this buckle here, you can see it is basic, man. It's really basic, old school. We've got a flip lock and one more clasp here, and we've also got this latch or hook here, and finally you remove the watch this way. Okay, so this is really old school design, and alright, so it could be a make or break thing. Alright, if you don't like this design, this bracelet, you might want to change it out to a strap, or even get a nicer mesh bracelet or something like that. And in terms of dial design and the overall color scheme, I think this panda look here really hit jackpot. Okay, so these days when it comes to chrono, it's always the panda versions that are the best selling, alright, with all the contrast in the subdials and all that. This one has this orange hands at the subdials, as well as the long timer hand or seconds hand end. I think this pop of orange here really makes this dial here come alive. For something so low priced, entry level category, I think they really got the dial design as well as the dial colors right this time here. Do bear in mind that this is still a quartz watch, and we've got a ticking seconds hand here at the 3 o'clock subdial. Alright, so it's ticking away, and this is a giveaway sign that this is one of those quartz watch. It is not eco drive. This is a battery operated kind of movement, and you do need to change battery every 2 to 3 years if I'm not wrong. And overall build quality as well as buttons operation here remains decent. Alright, this is exactly what you would get with a more entry level price watch. Alright, so no real complaints here. Of course, things like sapphire, crystal or better bracelet will be good, but of course the pricing might be changed rather drastically if that happens. And here's a look at the loom shot of the Citizen Bullhead Chrono. You can see that it lights up pretty brightly, right, despite the thinner and smaller loom plots. I would say this loom here is pretty good. Okay, it's not on par with Citizen Divers Pro Master Divers or Seiko Lumi Bright, but I think it's good enough for something that is of this price point. And zooming back out for a quick size comparison, we are talking about chronographs today. Of course, we have to do a comparison with the Speedy, which is the chronograph, in my opinion. So the Speedy is obviously much bigger than the Bullhead, 42mm on the Speedy versus 38mm on the Bullhead, and you can see the difference is quite big. Alright, one is a larger watch and this is a compact style kind of chronograph. So both wear really comfortably on my wrist. Alright, I always rate watches on their actual wearability. So both watches score really high in terms of wearability. So in summary, I would say the Bullhead here is a really interesting entry-level type of chrono with this very strong vintage design vibes. Alright, so it could cater for a group of fans, who are looking for a reissue and all that, with this retro design, retro look, even retro build quality. Okay, the build quality doesn't seem like it has improved very much from the actual watch from the 70s or 60s. Okay, so not too sure if this is deliberate, alright, but you have to be a connoisseur to appreciate such things. Okay, this vintage, old school, older technology kind of bracelet here. Alright, so, but then again, it is an entry-level piece. So if this design interests you, I think the Citizen Bullhead AN3660 would be a really good choice. Don't forget to come back here every week for more watch review videos. This is Andy in Singapore signing off together with George and Pixie. Bye bye.